What is up, everyone? A lot of people have been asking me this question in my comments. They've been texting me, they've been DMing me, and I decided I'm gonna make a whole video explaining it. Now, most men don't have a motivation problem. They have a problem with one certain hormone that is one of the most, if not the most hormone to have in a man's body. Testosterone. Every single thing that I preach, whether it's making money, whether it's getting disciplined, whether it's getting good in the gym, whether it's being a better fighter, it all hangs on this one hormone, testosterone. Now I'm going to be going back and looking a lot at the word testosterone so that you guys understand exactly how important this is. Now here's a little thing, even when it comes to making decisions in general, a low testosterone man makes passive decisions. A high testosterone man makes decisive decisions. And if you don't even know how to do the smallest thing, which is making a simple decision, well, you already know where the problem lies there. I'm going to be splitting this into 3 different categories to explain to you why this is so important. These 3 topics are what I'm going to be talking to you guys about. How it affects your physicality and makes sure that you are a high testosterone male. And I know that's what a lot of you guys hear online. Oh, get my testosterone up so I can do more weights. You see a lot of bodybuilders, they take testosterone. A lot of athletes, they take testosterone. There's a reason for that. Obviously, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm not telling everybody, oh, if you have low testosterone, go and buy a bunch of steroids and freaking kill yourself at 35. What I'm telling you is there are ways to increase your testosterone naturally that will not kill you. There are ways that you increase your testosterone to make sure that you are the highest performance male that you can be, especially in this current day and age where the testosterone levels are decaying generation by generation. People are getting weaker and weaker, and a lot of people either they give up and just lose or die or do whatever they want with their lives, or they turn to the extreme and start blasting a bunch of gear, which is not going to help you, trust me. Now, what if I told you having high testosterone will not just help you build muscle, but just having that high testosterone in you is going to make sure you have faster muscle growth, faster recovery, will help you also lose fat and help you maintain a lower body fat percentage due to the fact that your testosterone is higher than average. Also, last but certainly not least, might be the most important one out of all of them, which a lot of people care about, especially in business, especially whatever work you go to, whatever you do in your life, and whether you're a fitness influencer or you're a businessman, you want to have more of a presence. The more testosterone you have, the more you're inclined to make decisions, the more you're inclined to be yourself and just insert yourself and insert your opinions without fearing the consequences of other people's opinions or other people's judgments, because you know you're that guy. Now, moving on to just mentally, which does kind of tie into the more present side of things. Now, one of the most important things, and I cannot stress this enough, is the mentality part of things. A lot of people with low testosterone always feel anxious, always procrastinate, can't make a decision to save their lives. They wake up in bed and just doom scroll all day and all night. What a waste of time and potential. Now, when you have high testosterone, that's when your focus gets dialed in. Whatever task you're working on, whatever you're doing, you're going to be completely zoned in and focused. That's the importance of testosterone in this situation. When you're focused, that fuels your drive. So whatever you're working towards, that focus is dialed in and you have the drive to persevere and finish and get to the end of your task. Now, another very important part of this, emotional stability. There's a reason why girls are always panicking and emotional and crying and laughing. 1 second they're happy, 1 second they're sad, 1 second they're doing this, 1 second they're doing that, because they don't have the emotional stability to focus. Now, I'm not saying every girl is like that, but the majority are. Then stress tolerance, that's another very important one, especially when you're doing a high risk thing like business or fitness, especially when you're fighting as a professional martial artist, or whether you're a kickboxer or you're getting punched in the face. You need to be able to handle stress. Whether you're in business, you have a huge meeting worth $5,000, take it or leave it. You need to be able to handle that stress and make sure that you're concentrated enough. That's why I like to say, and like I said I was going to mention this at the beginning of the video, testosterone, testosterone, testosterone. Once your mentality is dialed in, your physicality is dialed in, you can do anything. Now, moving on to the next part, the money side of things. Now, here's where you're going to see these two things go hand to hand to build this side of everything. Now, when you're running a business, whether you're an online coach or you're running an SMMA or a SaaS or whatever, you need to be able to handle yourself in different situations. You need to be able to make decisions. You need to be able to do things that most people are not used to. For example, risk tolerance. When you have high testosterone, you can take a lot of risk. Whether it flops, whether it's the greatest decision you've made in your whole life, risk tolerance is something that you need to have. And that kind of ties into decision speed. When you have a high risk decision, a lot of the times you don't have the time to decide. Or if you have any time, it'll be fast. Opportunities come and go. And one of the most important things is you snatch it right when it comes at you. Now, assertiveness. As a man, I think you already know this, you gotta be assertive in any situation, whether you're in a big business meeting, whether you're on a sales call, whether you're with your friends, whether you're with a big group of people, you're meeting people, you're doing something new, you're moving to a new country, this. To have respect and to be a respected person, you need to be assertive. Not assertive in the weird way where you're just kind of like trying to, hey man, let me get in there. No, not like that. You gotta be assertive in a calm way. James Bond, think James Bond. Now, negotiation confidence, especially in business, you're going to be negotiating with a lot of people. You're going to be talking to a lot of people. Whether you're trying to buy something and lower the price, whether you're trying to sell something and increase the price, or maintain a certain price, or whatever you're doing, you're going to have negotiation confidence. And all of these things come in through testosterone. Now, at this point in the video, if you've stayed this long, I'm sure you understand how these things work. You have a better idea of it, at least, for sure. Now, I could tell you all these things, why testosterone is so good, why it does this, why it does that. Now, what I want to really teach you is how you can implement it in your day-to-day lives and how you can grow it substantially without having to take steroids or inject testosterone till the day you die and ruin your testosterone production. That's not what I'm here to tell you. What I'm here to preach is to show you how to naturally boost your testosterone and do things that'll just naturally increase your testosterone over time. Now, for the part you guys have all been waiting for. How can you increase your testosterone? I'm going to be giving you ways that you can increase your testosterone, whether it's through physicality, whether it's mentally, whether it's spiritually, the things that you eat, the things that you consume. That's the segment we're going into right now. Now, testosterone isn't something you can hack your way into. It's not like I'll tell you, have this fruit and it'll automatically make you the greatest man of all time. Testosterone is something you have to earn. Now, just to simply put it for you guys, there are 5 pillars of testosterone. It goes training, sleep, nutrition, environment, stress. These are the 5 pillars to increase testosterone by a skyfold. So yeah, when I say train, especially if you're not a combat sports athlete, if you're just a guy trying to make money and stay in shape, whatever, don't overtrain. That's a very bad thing. A lot of people always talk about, oh, I go on 10-kilometer runs every day. That spikes your cortisol, lowers your testosterone. It's not good. Once you get CNS fatigue, your testosterone just goes down, just gets bad. What I'll tell you right here is if you lift like a madman or train like a madman 3-4 times a week, 5 times if you got time, and do sprints. Sprints are really important. Not only do they not tank your testosterone, they boost it as well. It is one of the biggest cheat codes in training to build your testosterone. Sprints, lift, if you fight. Those are the 3 things I'll tell you right there and then. Now moving on to sleep. This kind of just goes in the whole section of recovery. You got to make sure you're recovering well. And I know, well, all these guys are talking about, oh, I can't recover. I'm working so hard, I can't recover. You've got a point. I've been in a lot of scenarios where I just have to spend all night up, all day, all everything. But when you find those little cracks, don't waste them doom scrolling. Don't waste them doing anything unproductive. Get your rest in. especially if you're some sort of university student, high school student, you don't have huge responsibilities. Rest and recover as much as you can when you're not working, of course. Now, we're getting into the nutrition side of things. You gotta eat like a man. Think about it like this. When you think, how does a man eat? What is he eating? You gotta have red meat, you gotta have eggs, you gotta have whole foods, just anything that's healthy. You know what's good for you. Having McDonald's every day is not gonna make you a high testosterone man. Eating like a high testosterone man will. It's very simple. You see a high testosterone man, for example, you're watching TV and you see Sylvester Stallone. That guy's a good example of a high testosterone man. Did he take steroids in Rocky IV? Probably. But you can still see he's a high testosterone man. You search up, how does this guy eat? What does he live? Blah, 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 blah. Bang. You're going to be like, oh, this guy's pretty dope. I'm going to do what he does. That's the type of things that you need to do. Eat healthy, whole foods, eggs, red meat. Yeah, you can have a cheat meal every once in a while, but try to stick to the basics. Now, a lot of you guys are going to think this next point is counterintuitive. But like I said earlier, I said stress control. How do you manage it? You manage your decisions. You manage this. Try to maintain and manage your stress levels. Of course, you're going to have days where you're insanely stressed, but that's where focus is important. Breathing. If you breathe, you can make better decisions. The sunlight's a great help. These are the things that to maintain a healthy mentality. I just want you to remember, at the end of the day, you have a purpose. You have a goal. You're doing something to achieve something else. That's what I'm telling you. So breathe. Try to get as much sunlight as possible. But at the end of the day, look at, if you have a whiteboard like this, or you have a calendar or a Notion or whatever you're doing, track that you have a purpose. There is a goal that you want to achieve, and make sure you hit it. Last but certainly not least, pillar number 5, your environment. This may be one of the most important and crucial things. Like they say, you surround yourself with the people you want to be like. If you're surrounding yourself with a bunch of losers, a bunch of people who smoke, they drink, they party, you are not going to be a high testosterone man, because those things rub off on you. They're for sure not high testosterone people. You're just hanging out, doing whatever. If you hang out with people with a similar goal, a similar status, a similar echelon, and you work to achieve those goals, that environment will rub off on you. Once that environment rubs off on you, time after time after time, as time progresses, as your days go, as your weeks go, as your months go, you will notice a substantial difference in the way that you are as a man, as a person, as whatever. Now, this is my last point to tell you before I end the video. You've seen the beginning. You've seen the things that can happen once you increase your testosterone substantially. Now, I want you to imagine yourself in 6 months applying everything that I told you, and everything. When I tell you, I stress everything. You can't miss a single one of these 5 pillars. You will be in a completely different position that you are right now. Now, make sure to like and subscribe if you like more videos like these. Have a good one.